che comunque il calcio è imprevedibile e le cose non sono mai scontate, quindi è anche la bellezza, no, di questo sport.
Io rappresentavo per questa squadra, era quello che non mollava mai, quello che doveva fare stare sempre su il morale, ma io mi ci trovavo bene perché sono sempre stato uno che mi piaceva dare fuoco ai miei compagni, caricarli prima delle partite.
Il mio sogno che si è avverato è uno dei sogni dei bambini, di tanti bambini.
Il gol è un qualcosa per la gente che riusciamo a fare diventare matti, riusciamo a fare diventare felici e contenti.
Con questa maglia devo veramente fare una performance diversa perché sto rappresentando.
Sand sorrow with pride in my chest. Back when Baresi kept the line tight, no rest. Maldini with the armband, class in his stride. Costa Garca on the right, no space to hide. Ruby Costa drop dimes like he painted with gold. And Paolo played chess while the others just fold. Gattuso with the fire like a lion unleashed. Inzaghi on the rebound, goes from the least. Kaká ran like heaven sent, gliding through fate. Seedorf with the vision, tempo so great. Nesta stood calm like a storm was a breeze. On the red and black with ease. Where's the soul in the bad? It's fading away. These new boys flex but they don't play the same way. It's not about the chains or the clout that you chase. It's about heart, sacrifice and holding the space. This ain't the Milan I grew up to adore. Now it's TikTok's ego and marketing tours. Where's the grit, the fight, the San Siro roar? We want warriors, not just deals in Dior. Remember Dita, gloves cold, but nerves colder. Sheva on the break made every striker look older. We had Ancelotti, not just a coach but a priest. Turned tactics into sermons, winning like a beast. Now I see empty stares, no passion, no war. Too busy stunting for cameras, forgetting the lore. Fans ain't just fans, we're family that bleed. Mercenary veins, the same fashion as Creed. Used to sing till our voices cracked in the curvature. Now we scroll feeds while they jog through the mud. Legends built this, brick by glorious brick. But lately the pride, man, it barely sticks. Where's the soul in the bad? It's fading away. These new boys flex but they don't play the same way. It's not about the chains or the clout that you chase. It's about heart, sacrifice and holding the space. This ain't the Milan I grew up to adore. Now it's TikTok's ego and marketing tours. Where's the grit, the fight, the San Siro roar? We want warriors, not just deals in Dior. So bring back the days when the crest had weight, when players kissed it. Not just signed for the rain from Gullit to Van Basten. Legends were made, and we pray for a squad that ain't just getting paid. Till then, I wear red and black with pain. A relic in time, screaming in the rain. This is more than a club, this family is flame. And one day, I hope they honor the name.
What's up, Milan Nation? Boy, Nico is back from his long, much-needed break from this club, this project, the crazy fan base that we have currently, right? We have the traditional fans versus the more casual fans slash non-traditional fans, or even throw in the plastic fans in that mix as well. All right, so that's where we're at right now with this fan base, right? The way things have progressed the last few seasons under Redbird, especially this past season, things have just cracked the ceiling, and people have really gotten divided on a big scale as a fan base. All right, that being said, before we kick things off, that intro song says it all for us not traditional fans, right? Where's the heart? Because what we're seeing on the field, what we're seeing with this project does not represent Milan. From day one, when Redbird bought the club, day they fired Maldini the way they did. To us, it said it kind of just foreshadow what was going to happen the next few seasons. And we're seeing that today come to its fucking full fruition, right? That Milanismo has been just threaded out, just disappeared, taken out, sucked up the soul of the club with what Redbird's doing, with what Jerry's doing for Lonnie, Ibra, Moncada. All right, even the people that's supposed to represent Milan, where are they? All right, like Bud Azy, I know he's got a job to do, but he should be speaking up a bit more. But it is what it is. Even the fans are not even speaking up. Even the Curva Suit is not even speaking up. They're still showing up to games and chanting. But before I really get into a rant, everybody that's jumped into the show, locked in, appreciate it. Thanks. Even the haters out there, keep supporting us, keep hating on us, keep hating on myself, the rest of my co-hosts, the rest of the podcast that we support, that we have the same thoughts and same, about the club and same views to a certain extent. Obviously some other podcasts out there have some different opinions than us that we support 100%. But at the end of the day, we do agree and do respect each other's opinions and don't call each other fake fans. All right. And I'll get more into that a little bit at the end of the show. All right. The main topic on today's show, right? Traditional fans versus the non-traditional fans and where that's taken us today. But as you know, today, Boban came out with part one of his interview today. My co-host, Shane, Husney, and even Lab were on earlier today. I'm sure a lot of people caught that show earlier today, and they kind of dove into it. But I want to get into myself and kind of give you my thoughts on that interview. And I think part two is being released tomorrow, I believe, which should be really interesting to see how that materializes, right? So let's dive into this show, guys. All right, first thing first, Boban. So I'm going to use MilanNews.it came out with their release on the interview. I'm not going to even read Semper Milan's because, as you know, we've covered it before. English-speaking media outlets don't translate things well. For one, lost in translation. And two, they do leave a lot of things out. All right. So the English-speaking fan base does not have a full visibility of what's happening with the club. But Italian news are fucking square. I mean, you're getting it straight from the source. So let's dive into it. All right. So the first thing they asked him to Boban, right, on today's interview. What the hell did I do? Hold on, guys. I don't need this. Give me a second. Okay, better. Cool. The first thing they asked him was how much of a difference between Inter and Milan and what level? So he kind of dove into it saying, listen, pretty much on a technical level, Milan is far away. I don't think we're far away, technically speaking. In terms of how to create a team that works well, it's far away. Milan makes 3-4 right graphs after rebalance the thing a bit and give a logic to the game, which it's not there because it hasn't been there all year. Meaning that the things we've done, the signings we've made make no sense. From a chemistry level, from a personnel level, it's just throwing bodies out there, spending money, putting players out there, random players, hoping it's going to gel. And it's not. Even the last Mercado they had, where they made all these last-minute signings, Felix, Santi, a bunch of other names, Bondo. There's no sporting project behind, there's no real thought. It just some of it's to appease the fan base. Say, hey, listen, we spent 30-40 mil on a striker. Oh, we got Yao Felix, this fucking star from Chelsea. At the end of the day, it hasn't panned out. He goes on, right? We don't have an identity. An identity, that's the key thing. We don't have an identity. It does not represent Milan, this project. On the contrary, there have been over 100 identities this season. All right. Let's think what you want to think about Boban as a person. I know some people out there don't like what he's done with Milan, taking him to court and a bunch of other shit. But the guy's speaking the truth. He's a true diehard Milanista, right? That loves the club. And he's got no ties to Redbird. Redbird doesn't feed his fucking hand. So he's telling it how it is. All right. And for him to say that there's been over 100 identities this season, meaning it's just a shit show. And it's confirmed it. Things that we've been talking about in our chats for months, again and again, every single day. Rinse and repeat the same shit. There's nothing else to talk about. There's no reason to talk about potential new signings, who we want to bring on to the team, who we're going to sell, who we want as a sporting director. That hasn't been even solved yet because nobody's going to come at the end of the day. Right? That's what it seems like. Right? We don't know who the coach is going to be. So what's the point of even but to talk about tactics or anything else but what's actually happening now in this shit? You know, just fucking straight facts, fellas. All right, he goes on, right? Let's take a step back, 2013. All right, let's go back. So what are the juice your questions? All right, what do you notice? When did you notice something wrong? This is a big question. From the beginning, already with Paulo, that time at home, they told me the idea of how it works. I said to myself, then we have to fight against our ownership for the good of Milan. So they wanted to fight back the direction they wanted to take this club. All right. And that's kind of tells you as much as we want to know. Like that was one of the big reasons that it confirms what we thought, that they got rid of Maldini because he wasn't down with their game plan. He wasn't okay with them destroying the club, destroying Milanismo, not building an Italian core, not spending money on certain players. He gets into it. In an interview in 2020, there are three key concepts: ambition, Milanismo, and Italianism. I talked about demilitarization, destroying Milanismo. That was his fear. It was clear they wanted to lose that strength of wanting to belong because it's too great an emotion for someone who wants to control it differently. Always Milan. What the fuck does it mean? Because they keep throwing that in our faces, this current management. And Boban's stating facts that what the fuck does that mean? Because what you guys are doing is not fucking Milanismo. So again, things that we already confirmed and talked about and hypothesized was actually reality for months. Now, we're seeing it from Boban's fucking mouth. Uncut, unfiltered. And for anybody out there, by the way, right, who are actually looking at this interview and saying, fuck you, Boban, you're not a real fucking Milan fan because you're not supporting the team. You're not supporting the colors, which we heard about again and again. All right? If you're against what Boban is saying, you need to check yourself. Look in the fucking mirror and realize what the fuck you're saying. You're actually backing management again. As much as you think you're not backing management, you are. If anybody comes out and publicly, throws shit, they burn fucking Redbird for what they really are. And you're going to complain about that and bitch and say they're lying. They're just discrediting Redbird, the management, trying to discredit the fucking current project, the team. You're wrong. 1,000% fucking wrong. And that's facts. Oh, by the way, this cigar is when we're going to win the fucking Mickey Mouse trophy. All right, I'll do a little fucking dance for everybody out there, especially for the haters. All right, if we win that fucking match, no matter of fact, we fucking finish top 8. Even better than that. That's the real fucking goal, fellas. Top fucking 8. Light up the cigar. All right, because top 8 is where we want to be. All right, continuing. So he goes on to a lot of things, but pretty much what this boils down to, I'm sure a lot of you already read the interview or heard it, that they wanted to sign certain players. They wanted to add additional midfielders like Olmo, right? And another guy from Salzburg, I think, Soboski, if I'm not butchering the guy's name. They really had a good fucking project, and that was turned down. Getting 2 players at the time that were affordable, that would have beefed the midfield, would have taken it to a next fucking level, to a fucking Inter Milan fucking level midfield. All right? And that's where you want to be because your midfield is your heart of your team. All right? And currently, this midfield has no fucking heart. So I'm not going to get too much into the fucking interview, guys. You guys, like I said, you guys, most of it probably read about it as well. Had countless people talk about it on your chats. But at the end of the day, Boban is speaking facts about what he saw was happening when Redbird took over the project. It took over the team, ownership of the club. That him and Maldini had a plan, a solid fucking plan to continue what they did after the Scudetto winning season. To be competitive, to build that Italian core, to add strength to your midfield. And that was taken fucking away. Jerry and his cronies, his fucking little fucking rats didn't want to hear that. They came in with a very egotistical fucking approach, and they wanted to do it their own way. It's a fucking ego. They thought the American way, Moneyball way, basing on fucking algorithms and trusting certain individuals to make decisions was the way to go, and not to actually trust people who care about the team and know football. And, this is where we're at today. But going besides that, so another wild take today, to get into it. So I hate burning Milan fans, but this one in general needs to be talked about because he's a very huge pundit in the United States. Has a big following on Paramount Sports. And that's Bonetti, all right, who claims to be a Milan fan, and I'm sure he is, but as a lot of the American fans that I've come across, it's questionable if he's a real traditionalist fan or he's more of the new kind of non-traditional fans. I wouldn't call him a fake fan or a plastic fan, but he's definitely not a traditionalist. So let me find the clip. Hold on, guys. By the way, everybody's joined. Keep the comment section going. If you have any questions, I'll take them after the show. All right. So let me pull this up. Sorry, I don't have it up right away. Give me a second. When you're looking for something, you can't find it. All right. All right, here we go. Let's see. Carl's in the chat. Ricardo16. What's up, fellas? Let me pull up the overlay here. Pull up everybody's comments here so everybody can see it. Kasavitz here. Gorilla. Yeah, Gorilla, I'm smoking a fucking missile because we're a fucking top 8 club and we might make top 4. Which is insane to me. That teams will be, if we make top 4 with teams crumbling ahead of us, it's going to give more ammo to fucking Redbird to come out with some more bullshit and sell some of the fan base more broken fucking promises. All right, so yeah, it looks like it's a pretty good chat, fellas. It looks like it's a good time slot. So let me get into his Bonetti's wild take. This has to do with reindeers, and I'll tell you why I picked out this comment specifically. Reindeer is as important to Milan's future of getting back to where they want to be as anyone else on the team. Highest goal-scoring midfielder in Europe. All right, that's true. Wonderful technique and pace, work rate, versatility, a complete player. That's where you lose me, Bonetti. A complete player, no, he's not. A complete player, especially a midfielder, when you're being told to play a certain position, and you've been playing it for fucking most of the fucking season, and you play on your Dutch national team as well, a similar fucking role, with stronger players around you, by the way. The fact that he can't play defense, a high work rate is working hard on the ball and off the ball. That's fucking facts. You teach kids that at a fucking early fucking level, as early as fucking 6 years old. And you're going up the ranks and playing football at the academy level. And for Bonetti, somebody who's supposed to know football, to come out and say this, that he's a complete player and a high work rate, That's where you lose me, Bonetti. He's not. Because I've stated 100 times, our midfield is shit. And one of the reasons because of Tijani. Yeah, it would help if there were stronger players around him. If you stack the midfield with 4 or 5 other strong midfielders that defend well, that cover their space, that recover balls, that pick up third man runs, pick up players making runs behind on the far post. All right, helping out on your winger when you're on that open space, making sure your pivotal space, that's that space between your midfield and your back line, is not too stretched out. If you can't do those simple fucking things as a midfielder, and not being world class, forget about world class. Just do a decent job at it on a consistent basis. You're not a complete player to me whatsoever. Not in a million fucking years. Is he a nice player? I'll give to Johnny. He's a good player. All right, and by certain standards today, I guess what we have today, even great player on when he wants to be. But to call him a world-class player, to call him a complete player, a versatile player, that is 1,000% fucking wrong. Anybody else besides Benetti thinks the same way? Have your head checks, please. Go to your fucking doctor and have an examination done. For a concussion, memory loss, something, please. All right? Because that's absolutely a garbage fucking take. Okay? So I see the viewership just dropped a bit. I wonder who that was. People probably that are Benetti fans. So be it. But haters gonna hate. So that being said, let's get into the next. Maldini comment. So in our chat, we have a diehard Milan fans, and Carlo. This is from Carlo. He's in our group chat. He's actually in today's live as well. So Carlo, by the way, just to give you a back, Carlo, he joined our group pretty recently. He was a member of MWP, like most of us, for a bit. Listen to their show, the MWP. But obviously, with their anti-Maldini talk and other takes that they have, the majority of the people in that chat, some of those people in that group are okay. They're pretty cool. But overall, they have a certain agenda, which is fine. You can have your own agenda. But he left, just like a lot of us left as well, that are part of our Milanista 360 group. So he said, all right, so he's talking about a certain Milan podcaster on MWP that came out with their live recently on Mother's Day. And this is Gio, that's part of the MWP Coast to Coast, said, we don't support Maldini, we don't support Baresi, only la Mazda. That's the point, people. Players are interchangeable in American culture, American sports culture. We, on the other hand, take them into our hearts and revere them. I cried when Maldini retired. I cried when he came back as a DS because I knew he would bring us back to the top. We treat our legends with fucking respect. Our legends with fucking respect. I'll say that again. Respect. That's the difference between our philosophy and theirs. That's a huge one. That's a big philosophical difference between traditional fans and non-traditional fans. All right? That's a huge one. It's a big difference. And me coming from being an American, growing up in the United States all my life, been raised there. I've been following American sports all my life, and other sports too, like calcio, like European football, right? As an American, I have a good point of view on this. And Carl, you're right. For the majority of fans in the United States that follow baseball, the NFL, NBA, whatever it is, when it comes to stars leaving, yeah, they get a little bit upset. Sometimes, just like when the fucking Mavericks sold one of their best players to the Lakers recently. All right, I don't follow the NBA as much as I used to, so I can't. Is it Doncic, Luka Doncic? Yeah, they made a little bit of a fucking, couple hundred fucking fans showed up and put signs up and got upset that they traded their best player, their franchise player, to a competitive team. Or when certain teams leave cities, like the Browns did back in the day, the Cleveland Browns, overnight, right? Some fans got upset. But if that would have happened in Europe or in South America, there'd be fucking riots. They'd be burning fucking tires, burning fucking trucks, buses, rioting. If it was at that level. So yes, overall, American fans, and I'm one of them, I can tell you from experience, I've seen it with my own two fucking eyes, are not as passionate. And that's just the mentality. It's just the way it is. They are passionate fans in the US, but overall, they're not. Generally speaking, compared to Europeans and Latinos. All right. So, Carlo, great comment, by the way. Great fucking quote. All right. That says it all. That's like that might, might anger some people, some of the haters out there, but these are facts, and the truth fucking hurts sometimes. Yes, Carlo, they can just pick up teams. Like I just said, there was like the Browns, the NFL team back in the fucking 90s, I think it was. They just moved out of the city and moved to Baltimore. It became the Baltimore, whatever, the Ravens. And that happened overnight. Like I said, only a couple hundred people showed up and got pissed off. But if that would happen in Milan, imagine Milan, Jerry taking the club and moving it to the U.S. tomorrow, to New York, or to some fucking, I don't know, some other country, or to another city in fucking Italy. I can tell you that's gonna be a much different fucking protest. Night and day. Yeah, I don't know about that, Ricardus, about Crystal Palace. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Maybe somebody in the chat can answer that. All right. And now, segueing into traditional fans versus non-traditional fans, we got into what we said, one of the big differences, philosophical differences between us and the non-traditional fans / casual fans / plastic fans. All right. And one of them is what we just talked about a minute ago. The other one is that we know when we can tell our differences between supporting the club and supporting ownership. Just because you hate ownership and you want them to lose so they can get the fuck out, right? Or maybe you're and we've seen it, doesn't make you a fake fan. It makes us a real fan because we want ownership out. We can differentiate. We can root for the club as a historical part of it, not the project, and not support management regardless. And at the same time, we can also stop watching games and not celebrate winning a fucking Supercoppa and winning the Coppa Italia and still be real fans. We can also support Maldini. Well, Maldini didn't show up for the fucking anniversary celebration and still be Milan fans. It doesn't make us pro Maldini fans. Doesn't make us anti Milan fans like some of us called it in the past. Because at the end of the day, somebody like Maldini is bigger than the club. And we've had guests on our show previously in the past. You guys can check out previous podcasts. Like a year ago, we had a big panel. There was somebody on that panel that said Maldini is just another player. They said it on their own podcast as well. It's been said in other podcasts as well. The same fucking comments. And that's another difference between traditional fans versus non-traditional fans. In some cases, players are bigger than the club. Okay. That's another one. Franchises, yes. Huge. It's the mentality, it's the way it's built. But it requires at the same time, there are really true die fans for certain clubs, like the Yankees, like the Mets, like certain cities like New York, LA, maybe not LA, New York, Boston, traditionally are the most hardcore fans in the United States, Philly fans as well, when it comes to sports. But they're nowhere as near as passionate as fans in Europe and again as in Latin America. All right. But let me get back to what I was my fucking thoughts on this topic. And also recently as well, other podcasts have said, all right, have called us fake fans for not showing up and watching the games, not supporting the club when it's losing, wanting them to lose games. And they've stated, and this is a popular podcast, that if we're not rooting for the club now, we should stop being Milan fans. Stop being Milan fans. These people, they know who they are. We've had discussions with them online and things like that. They've been on our show. We actually called them friends in the past. Not once did we ever call them fake fans. We've called them maybe sellouts. Maybe we've called their club sellouts, their fan club that they support, for not publicly going after Redbird, for bringing in Scaroni as a fucking VIP guest, cheering when Ibra came to visit New York, going to the airport and JFK and taking photos like he's some fucking legend, and shaking his hand instead of saying, fuck you, Ibra. We don't want you here. They welcomed him with open arms when he came to visit New York. What's up, Shane? All right. Not once did we ever call them fake fans. Never. But again, we've been called fake fans before from non-traditional fans, for wanting an Italian core, for this, for that. And this was months ago. And it continues today. And to tell us to go find another fan base, another team to root for. How about this? Go fuck yourself. Honestly. I've tried to kill that beef between us. I've gone on to say, listen, guys, try to be cordial with them offline. But they continue with their agenda. They're calling us fake fans and telling us to go fuck off, pretty much. But yeah, keep hating on us. Keep hating us on your fucking podcasts. Keep calling us fake fans. But I'm not going to step down to that fucking level, that immature 12-year-old mentality in trying to start shit online on your channel and on X as well. We're not doing that. We're fucking grown men here. And we do respect other people's opinions, even when we think they're fucking batshit crazy. You have a right to your opinion, but we're never going to call you fake fans. Delusional, maybe. Call your Milan clubs that you're part of, that you support, sellouts, and for selling out. The fact that you sellouts for still promoting the fucking the games remaining, the Coppa Italia, like it's a big fucking deal. It just really isn't. What? We win and we go to Europa like we talked about. Is that what we really wanted us to be? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with, as a influential Milan club in big cities, to promote that shit? So the new wave of Milan fans that are coming up, they're going to your social, to your bar, to the restaurant, wherever you're having you're watching your games, your events, and to say, listen, what you see here is what the club should be. This is what we support. And not push for more. And you're teaching them to be content with the same shit. And you're poisoning the next generation of fans. And that's my problem as well. So we're cutting to about almost 35 minutes. You know, that's my biggest take out of today's pod. This reason I wanted to come online and talk was the recent comments that's going on, the recent shit that I'm seeing. All right. Like I said, at this point, there's no reason, there's no point of talking about tactics. That's my thing, right? We talked about it. Or talk about anything else besides this current situation that we're in. None. To be promoting games, saying, listen, 2 more games left. We're playing in the fucking finals and this and that. What's the fucking point? Except to promote your own club and to bring people to the bar, right? And to grow your Milan fan base, your club base, more supporters. In some cases, if you're charging them, remember, you're getting more money in your pockets to do more cooler shit. So you can get Milan to send over another asshole to come over and get autographs with. All right, maybe next time you'll have Forlani at your club, at your bar, and kissing his ass. Maybe you're lucky enough you'll get Moncada to come to the U.S. to shake some hands. And you'll be more than happy to promote that shit on your websites, on your fucking socials. Oh, look, Forlani came to visit our fucking club. Because traditional fans don't support that shit whatsoever. Traditional fan will do is they see one of those guys out in the street, they will say something. And I'm not condoning violence. I'm not condoning to punch somebody, even though some of us may want to do it, which is perfectly fucking normal. I get it. But a traditional fan will fucking say something. We'll curse them out, tell them to go fuck off. And they would never invite him to their fucking fan club to hang out with them and get autographs with. Not in a million fucking years. But because you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, and that's the Milan fucking management, the club that's making these decisions, you keep condoning this shit and keep going down that path. And then that's where you get more non-traditional fans in the next generation to come up. So I'm telling you guys, everybody out there, all the traditional fans out there, everybody who's subbed to this channel, who's in our chats, who's just following, hasn't joined yet, hasn't subscribed to the channel. You're listening to this now live. We're going to listen to it later on at night. On the way home from work or whatever. Stand the fuck up. Do not let these non-traditional fans, these plastic fans that are in there as well, the fake fans, to take over the fan base. Don't let them fucking do it. Yeah, they are the loudest online because they're a bunch of fucking kids. And they're all tweeting shit online constantly, pushing this agenda. But I can guarantee you, we outnumber them overall. But most of the traditional fans, they're a little bit older. Maybe they're not as active as online, but they're out there. And you see it on Italian pods as well. A lot of the Italian podcasts that are focused on Milan, the big ones that outnumber any US fucking podcasts by fucking thousands of fucking subs and views, maybe more. Much more influential. Not to the English-speaking fucking world, but to Italy. The Italian fans, speaking fans. They're saying how it is. All right? They might not be as big on X, but they're out there. So just keep putting the pressure on. Don't let this shit fucking die. Don't sit in there and say, well, oh, fuck it. Redbird's not going anywhere. Might as well just accept it at some point. Don't cave the fuck in. You're right. You're not obligated to do a goddamn thing, Fadinho. And for anybody else to say out there, we're obligated to watch games, to support them all the time, to accept this shit. No. No, no, no. We're not obligated to do a goddamn thing. We're obligated to tell them to fuck off. But the one thing we're not doing, and I'm not doing it, I'm telling you again, I'm going to just we got to keep the pressure on. Don't let them fucking win. Because that would be the death of our fucking club. If we just sit quiet, we pipe down, don't do these podcasts occasionally when we have a chance. Don't comment on other podcasts and tell them how we feel. So especially the ones that are non-traditional fans. Don't push back on management. They will win. And the club that we've known is going to be is going to be non-existent for a long fucking time. And that's just real. And I know there's some of you in this chat, some of you listening to the pod right now saying, oh, he's fucking negative. These Milan podcasters like Milanista 360 are always negative. No, we're just telling you the fucking truth. Because when you get older, all right, you have some fucking real fucking experience with families, with work, with real fucking struggles. Right? That seeing rainbows all the fucking time like a 12-year-old, like a little kid, and think everything is cool and fucking copacetic. In the real world, it's not like that. And this is what's happening right now. That's the real fucking facts. Because if Milan goes to top 4 in the make Champions League, it's going to give Redbird another reason to stick around. Another reason to say this is a good investment. And nothing's going to fucking change. Oh, Fede Kiesa's back. Hey, what's going on? I know he was on the show earlier. He was tuned into with Shane and John with Lab and Husney earlier today. All right, let me take some comments, fellas. All right, hold on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Comment chats. All right, so Fadinho, Jerry said that fans are our partners. Well, Jerry, your partners are not happy with your management. So either change them and invest on sporting or sell to someone who can do a better job. But Fadinho, this is what we've been saying, but let's be real. I ideally want to keep the pressure on, like I said. But more needs to be done by just us talking about it. All right. It needs to be a massive fucking blackout at the seats. Just like during the fucking Banta era. And by the way, talking about Banta era, on a recent pod, they had said, Milan podcast, they had said that, the Banta era, some people say the Banta era this was worse than the Banta era, and then the fans that think that that's worse than the Banta era are fucking crazy, don't know what they're talking about. I'm talking about us, traditional fans, by the way. All right? That's another thing you're absolutely fucking wrong with as well. Because at least with that Banta era management and team, they fought, they bled. All right? Sure, they had the deficiencies. We had an owner with no real money. I get that. But nobody expected. They didn't make fucking promises to us. They didn't say we're gonna build a fucking competitive team, build a stadium. It was all the bullshit. They didn't tear fucking Milanismo apart either. They didn't disrespect fucking legends. They were what they were. But they still were represented Milan for the better or for the fucking worst. And if for that team, if they dropped the Serie A fucking B, that Banta era team, we still be supporting them, behind them 1,000 fucking %. And yes, this current project is fucking worse than that. And don't let these little wins fucking fool you, these little trophies. And shame on the fucking fans, shame on Curva for showing up to the fucking games. Because for all their tough talk, all this mean talk, being these fucking tough guys, yeah, I know some of them are fucking hardcore gang members and they got reps. Okay. I've been around that lifestyle as well, by the way. That shit doesn't impress me. You want to be real fucking hardcore? You want to be a true fucking hardcore ultra? Don't show up to the fucking games. Go outside of the fucking stadium and fucking protest. Go to Milanino, the training facility. Go to fucking their fucking offices. Go to fucking Casa Milan and protest. Not this bullshit of talking all this tough shit online and you know, on your fucking socials and then showing up to the games like that's not a big fucking deal. You're still showing the casual fans, the fake fans, the fans are just out there just to put their shit on TikTok on and get a million fucking views that they're fucking at San Zero. All right. And one last thing. That's a very American cultural thing. All right. Again, look at American sports, look at the NBA, look at the NFL. Most of the time when they're in between breaks or before the game even starts, the camera's pointing to fucking celebrities in the fucking arena. Well, there's fucking Ben Stiller. There's fucking Shaq. Or there's Spike Lee at another Knicks game. Yeah, he's a hardcore fan. They're always spotlighting the fucking celebrities in the fucking crowd. Making about them like, oh, look, this is a fucking event you don't want to miss. Look who's at the game. And that's how it's beginning with Milan too. It's becoming a social event. Sooner or later it'll be fucking halftime shows. Sooner or later it'll be fucking Milan fucking cheerleaders. Fireworks. That's the direction we're going. Yeah, Casavi, you may not give a fuck. Right? And you're right. But the American, we have the Asian fan base and stuff like that. And there's millions of fucking other Milan fans we can focus on our attention on. And it is important to be in the American space. They sell a shit ton of stuff, but do it the right fucking way. Real Madrid is very focused on the American fan base, but they're doing it the right way. And if you go through most cities in the U.S., you will find more Real Madrid jerseys than Milan jerseys. Because they're about marketing as well, Madrid, would open up academies in rich fucking cities, building academies in Mexico and Tulum, where it's like, for people with, millionaires and shit like that. But they're still focused first on winning, which translates to other success financially, right, with the fans. So yes, the American audience is important, but do it the right fucking way. And they're not doing that. That's the problem. You have a fucking blueprint. You have teams that have succeeded to go into the U.S. market and be successful and still keep their fucking roots, still keep their fucking DNA. You don't see Real Madrid mistreating fucking legends like that. Yes, 14 CL type. We have 7. Yeah, it's a long fucking time ago, but we were there at some point. But again, if they're gonna you have a blueprint from Madrid and Barcelona too. Barcelona is super fucking popular as well in the U.S., more than Milan. So Champions League doesn't even matter. It's the fact that they had Messi and those guys and Busquets and everybody else back in the day. And it's still strong to today. A shit ton of Barcelona fans in the U.S., more than Milan fans, but again, Barcelona keeps to its fucking core. They promote within their club. They give youngsters a chance. They're building a strong Spanish core. A team that their club, their fans would be proud of. Forget about the financial shit, all the dirty shit that Barca does. It has nothing to do with the players or the manager. But as a team, as a historical club that Barcelona is, with Cruyff and everything else between it, they stick to their DNA. And fans appreciate that. So you just do it the right fucking way. There's plenty of clubs out there, Jerry, to take the fucking blueprint and just fucking reproduce it. Instead of being an egotistical asshole and doing it your own fucking way. Yes, one more comment I'm going to take. I got to go in a minute, guys. Carlo, all that comes with winning. Redbird came and trying to reinvent Milan and solely country on the American audience through merch and branding, forgetting us who have grown up their whole lives. Yeah, Ricardo, you're right. The way it's going, Inter will catch up with us. Again, Inter is in the second fucking final in, 3 years? That's being a fucking competitive club. That's a winning club. And if you look at most football analysts out there, most magazines, most other very unbiased podcasts, and a lot of coaches that are online as well, they're always talking about Inter, especially when they get this far in the Champions League or another successful season. They're always talking about Inzaghi's tactics. They're always talking about the style of play that Inter plays. Have you heard anybody speak about our project the last few years? The last time anybody spoke well about us was when we won the Scudetto. And during that nice run we had and we beat Napoli in the Champions League. Nobody was talking about Fonseca ball outside of just Milan fans. So Milan fans, how nice it was during the preseason. Nobody said, oh, look at Fonseca tactics. Tactically, it look fucking great. Nobody gave it because they knew it was bullshit. Same thing with fucking Conceição. He's not as even well respected as fucking Inzaghi is. Not even on the same fucking level. That's real fucking ambition. And it fucking hurts that our cousins, the people that we fucking hate, have gotten to this fucking level consistently. And don't think Morata's not going, he's not retiring anytime soon. The guy still has his fucking head together. As long as they have Morata, they're still making the decisions because that job is taxing, but not physically. He can do it for another 3-4 fucking seasons and Inter and continue that fucking greatness. All right, fellas. Milan Nation, everybody that's locked in, appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit us up. Listen, if you want to pull up this right here. If you want to join our fucking chat on WhatsApp, contact one of us on our socials. Right, you can just hit us up in the Milanista 360 social on X, on Twitter. Let us know that you want to join the channel. Just a warning, an FYI, some people have asked to join our chat in the past, and they've lasted for like a day, or 3-4 days, or they're for a month. They're not active, and maybe they're there to relay our fucking messages to other Milan chats. I don't fucking know. But if you really want to join our chat, for just a warning, we are very uncut, very raw channel. We do respect each other's opinions. We're all really cool with each other, but we say it how it is. We do complain about Redbird on a daily basis, about Forlani on a daily basis, because at the end we're traditional Milanistas. All right. So if you do want to join us, just be warned. All right. Don't waste your time, our time, joining the chat and then saying, fuck this, I don't like you guys. Just a heads up. All right. All right, one last comment. Fadinho, football is a competitive sport, not a fake entertainment business like WWE. And one more. Fede Chiesa, at least half of those people are those who try to act like they found a secret club and underrated manager. All right, fellas, everybody, haters as well. You know who you are. Thanks for locking in, supporting the channel as always. All right, and Forza Maldini, Forza Cesar Maldini, Forza Pro Maldini, and Forza Monza. All right. I love you. Always. Red on black forever, but the shit needs to change. All right? Shit needs to change. But this is not our fucking club right now. And always, traditional Milanistas, don't let this shit go. Keep pushing back. All right? Later.